Hey guys, welcome back. This is HD and it is time for game 2 between Stephano and WhiteRa. This is from Group B of IPL 4 live at the Cosmopolitan. If you guys haven't seen these games already, then you're in store for a treat. In fact, check out the first game of this set because this is the second game of this set. And if you guys haven't checked it out, I guess you guys don't mind being spoiled. WhiteRa losing the last game and Stephano now being a good sport, saying, you know, good luck, have fun, Alexi. Alexi is the name of WhiteRa, the granddaddy Protoss, has a wife, has kids, lives in Ukraine, and needs this win here for some more cash. So we'll see if he can do it. And WhiteRa is going to be the red Protoss at the top left. The map is Antigua Shipyard. Stephano the Zerg at the bottom right. Now, before the game gets started, just wanted to say that this is surprise free headset time. I'm going to be giving away 3 more headsets for free, courtesy of Gamecom Plantronics. So if you guys want to check that opportunity out, all you have to do is listen to this replay as I cast it, and they'll select some trivia questions. All you do is you go to gamecom.plantronics.com and register an account on their website, post a comment on the news portal called, I think it's going to be called Epic Replay number 10, and if you post a comment and then email the trivia answers to Gamecom at essagency.com, I think is what it is, then you guys will win one of the 3 free headsets if you get the questions correct. The trivia questions are based on this replay, and detailed instructions located in the more info section below this video. Make sure to check it out, guys. Great opportunity when it comes to winning free stuff. So yeah, that's that, and this is game 2. We'll see what happens. Stephano here getting a spawning pool, getting the extractor. That's actually kind of interesting already. Usually he doesn't get such an early gas. So we'll see where he goes with this quick gas, and the only thing goes off in my head right now is obviously the quicker speed upgrade, and yeah, he didn't cancel it or anything. He is going to have much earlier gas than what Stephano usually gets. One thing to note on this map as well is it's not very Protoss favored in the middle. It's very hard for Protoss to kind of move out across the field because there's not many areas where they can hug the sides of the map. But if they can get up on the high ground, any player that can control the Zelnaga Tower, not only do they get a huge circumference of vision, they also get control over the gold expansions. So that's going to be very important here for both of these players to control. We can see a hatchery already coming down at the natural for Stephano. And he is getting that quick speed. He pulled drones off gas as well, so he's not committing to something like a Baneling bust. He's just going to have that early speed, and so this already is not going to be the typical Max Roach style because he got that early gas. It already hurts the build too much to try to go into Roaches. But, you know, with the early speed upgrade, I'm trying to think of why he would get that, why he would diversify his build. And maybe he's concerned about WhiteRa trying to do something fishy, some kind of early opening. That's not the case, though. He sees the wall at the front door, so he knows that his opponent is not going to be, you know, doing some type of one-base cheese. And he is making use of his speed here by making 10 Zerglings, but the probe gets inside, and that's such a huge scout. I can't emphasize that scout enough because it gets inside the base. It sees the gas, which is so huge. Stephano never gasses up at this point in the game, and now WhiteRa's going to be thinking, what the heck is going on? Why is Stephano getting gas at this stage? Now I think he saw that there weren't additional drones on that gas, so he can roll out an early Baneling nest, and of course he saw the natural, so he probably doesn't think a Baneling, you know, detonation, a mass Baneling all in is coming. But these early speedlings, I really don't think they're going to pay off. There's already a photon cannon here, and there's already a Zealot at the front door. This is, oh, whoa! Zerglings are going to be able to leak inside at least 2. I don't know how that happens. Sometimes some Zerglings are skinnier than the rest, and I guess the no, they're not going to be able to get in. And what a great reaction there by WhiteRa, by the way. Brings in a couple of pylons and seals it off. But that is why Zerg players don't go for early speed, because it's just not effective. And right now WhiteRa is thinking, why did my opponent do that? I have to check to see if he's getting a third. And so he sends the probe over to the third nexus, and he confirms that yes, third hatchery, and he confirms that yes, there is another hatchery coming. My opponent is going to macro up, unless he decides to like kill off the hatchery for some reason and just cheese. But that was very kind of weird for WhiteRa because most Zerg players don't go for early speed simply because you cannot penetrate a wall at the front door. Force fields cut that off. Photon cannons can deal with that very easily as well. There's a multitude of possibilities for Protoss. And so WhiteRa is kind of scratching his head, so he said, I gotta check the third hatchery, and he sees the third hatchery. So already, I think Stephano kind of starting off with a slight disadvantage. It would have been much better for him to just go with his typical style. You know, he hasn't realized any benefit from the early gas. He threw away 10 Zerglings for free. And now he's trying to get a Roachhorn Lair Evolution Chamber. I guess he's trying to switch back into his more comfortable style. But, you know, he starts off this game with a slight disadvantage. And because of that, I think WhiteRa is going to say, huh, I know you have a third hatchery. I can go for a third Nexus here, and you shan't... Is shan't a word? I think it is. You shan't have the roaches that you typically shall have. So we'll see if he decides to expand here or if he tries to make some type of attack. And this is all because WhiteRa is emboldened by the idea here that his opponent threw away such an early advantage in the early game. His sentries and his zealots here are not really at risk. Depends though how far on the creep he extends, because his opponent is making some Zerglings and Roaches right now. And WhiteRa has to be a little careful, but he is actually bringing in more pylons. How many warp gates does he have? Oh, wow. Whoa, he's got 8 gateways here. So WhiteRa says, I'm just gonna straight up attack you and hope I kill you right now. And he's gonna get the sentries on the high ground. Beautiful play. He also has vision here. He brings some reinforcements in, and all these drones are stuck. They can't get out. WhiteRa is gonna be able to kill off the third hatchery, so an early lead gets extended even more for WhiteRa here. And he is certainly, the drones are just trying to run away, but there's nowhere to go. And unfortunately, let's keep the roaches at bay. I guess a couple of them were able to get up to the high ground. The drones are still trying to stay alive. You know, Stephano is doing a pretty good job of running the drones around the gauntlet and now trying to stack them up on the gas, but WhiteRa's just got way too many troops here. And he's going to be able to kill off this hatchery and all the drones. Stephano is in so much trouble. More reinforcements coming in. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, WhiteRa has to kill off these 2 hatcheries. He has to at least kill off 1 in order to justify the cost of an 8 gate on 2 bases. He's really sacrificed technology. Can he kill the hatchery or not? Reinforcements continuing to stream in for Stephano. And, you know, even though he's killed off a bunch of workers, you guys can see Stephano still has the worker advantage. The rest of these guys will escape, and Stephano sacrifices the base. He surrenders. He's raised the white flags. And not only the macro hatch, but also the main hatchery at the expansion shall fall as well. And that's so big. Now, WhiteRa has to fall back. And a lot of times, WhiteRa just gets, I think, a little too aggressive. Kill off this hatchery, pull back and expand, or pull back and just play on 2 bases because your opponent is so far behind right now. And we can see WhiteRa at 94 supply. There's no reason to attack up this ramp at this point because he isn't so far ahead that he can just go for the kill. But he looks like he's going to go for it here, but as soon as he sees the spine crawlers, he's probably going to pull away. No, he's going to stay. And WhiteRa here with +1 weapons. The Roaches at +1 now as well. They're still trying to get speed, but with all the crawlers here, I don't really think WhiteRa should be going for the kill. What is WhiteRa doing? He's going to lose his advantage here. His stalkers and sentries getting blown apart by tentacles from the crawlers. And now WhiteRa has, oh man, WhiteRa just threw it away. WhiteRa just threw it away. What are his sentries doing? No, WhiteRa! Alexi, you were ahead. You had it. You killed off 2 hatcheries. You killed off a bunch of drones. And then he just kind of throws it away. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, I guess he's still kind of ahead. But, oh man, he was so primed, so set up. And usually, you know, you go for the killing blow if you're really far ahead. If you know for sure you can end the game. But he runs up there, he sees all the crawlers, and he still decides to stay, which has me scratching my head. And he's still not giving it up here. He's not expanding out of this. He's just gonna stay with the fight. And I don't agree with this at all. WhiteRa is playing a very dangerous game here. He doesn't have observers to pick off the creep spread, and the Roaches and Zerglings now all have speed, and he's trying to pull away now, but it might be too late. Oh my god, WhiteRa is going to lose his entire army here if he's not careful. He has the high ground, though. I don't know if he's got enough firepower to deal with this many Roaches, and he's lost all of his, or almost all of his sentries, and that's it. He loses his army. He tries to reinforce, but the pylon is too far away. And WhiteRa's decision making here just has me scratching my head just a little bit. You know, well, first of all, if we look back at the beginning of this game, I don't know why WhiteRa decided to go for the 8 gate. Maybe that was the strategy he had planned out from the beginning. But the problem is, the problem I have with that is he was already ahead. Stephano went with early speed for the Zerglings, which is typically not what Stephano does. The early speed did not pay off. And an 8 gate works really well against Stephano's style when he doesn't get early speed. But the fact is he already had early speed upgraded for his Zerglings. That 8 gate, it was already kind of miraculous that it did pay off, that it did kill off these 2 hatcheries. And then he still tries to go for the W, which, I don't know, man, it was so aggressive and so bold, but now he's really going to pay the price. There's so many roaches and Zerglings on the field now. Total map control surrendered to the Zerg. And at this point, Stephano could actually just, I don't know if he's gonna try to blow through the front door, but he can just camp the front door and just expand at will. He can drone up like crazy here. In fact, yeah, there's the drones coming, 16 workers on the way, and he's just gonna stay on point with his upgrades, won't allow himself to fall behind. WhiteRa desperately trying to chrono boost out Immortals right now. He has really no technology at all because of this 8 gate. You know, he's just now gotten Robotech. And he's really going to be camped behind on his 2 bases. He cannot move out. I don't know. He might try to go for a Warp Prism. That, yeah, there is a Warp Prism. So that's what I was kind of thinking in the back of my head. Maybe he'll try to go for a Warp Prism to circumvent the fact that he's cornered in, and that's exactly what he's doing here. Will the Warp Prism be able to pay off or not? Kind of akin to Puma and his way of dropping in TVP. Here comes some Zealots, but there's already roaches there, man. Stephano, you know, he knows that that's what WhiteRa does. He brings in Warp Prisms, and he's totally prepared for it. So it gets shut down, and WhiteRa here in a lot of trouble. His Warp Prism has not paid off at all, and units continuing to stream in here. Let's look at the income tab, 57 to 52, and Stephano is just non-stop making roaches and Zerglings. He might be going for a timing break here with +2 missile attacks. And with this many roaches and Zerglings, WhiteRa is going to have to be really good with the force fields. He's trying to bring in the Warp Prism again to attack the 3rd hatchery, but it's totally defended by Spine Crawlers and roaches, so that is not going to happen. I'm a little bit concerned here for WhiteRa. He has a Colossus, finally, so his tech is kind of starting to catch up a little bit, and I don't know why he blew the pylon up. I think he's thinking he needs to move out and expand, but he immediately sees the army here. The first observer finally comes out. He should have brought the observer first to check the area, and he sees his army. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe I could sneak a probe through here, but nope, that's not going to happen. And now WhiteRa's got to be thinking, what in the world do I do about this army? That is maxed. 197 supply. He has Thermal Lance coming, and he's making more Colossus. He can stay defensive. That's the thing here. That's what WhiteRa can do, and I love what he's using. And his offensive capability all going to be from the Warp Prism. So I really like what WhiteRa is doing, delaying the 4th hatchery, and it looks like the Warp Prism has kind of started to pay off just because it delayed the 4th hatchery. And oh no, here comes the move out by WhiteRa. I don't know why WhiteRa went down ramp. What was he thinking? What could have possibly motivated him to come down into the jaws of death? Stephano just surrounds, and that's it. WhiteRa is done for. So that was a pretty convincing second game. Don't forget, guys, to check out Gamecom Plantronics and win a chance at one of your free headsets. But what in the hell? What in the blue hell was WhiteRa thinking right there? He just went down the ramp and got blown apart. And I feel like I'm kind of criticizing WhiteRa a lot, so I do apologize, WhiteRa fans. I'm a huge WhiteRa fan myself. GG, I try my best. WhiteRa, always a good sport. But let's go ahead and rewind real quick and see why WhiteRa decided to just go down the ramp here. That was such a weird decision. I guess maybe he just said, you know what, if I stay on 2 bases forever, I'm just gonna die because I'm gonna lose out economically, so I have to try to push out. But yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe he was just kind of like that guy from Saw, you know, he's chained up by the ankle. The only way he's gonna get on to see his family is if he saws off his leg. I guess that's a terrible analogy, but so be it. And here we go. So WhiteRa does, yeah, he just moves out and he's like, I gotta expand, I gotta try. but it was a futile effort, an absolutely futile effort. So that was pretty much that. Once again, let's just look at, you know, WhiteRa going up this after the 8 gate and trying to shove his way up into these crawlers, and I just don't know why. You know, if we rewind just 1 minute here, we can see that WhiteRa was really far ahead. I mean, he was just... There we go. He was just so far ahead after killing off the 2 hatcheries here. And like I said before, the 8 gate was a little weird because the Zerg already had speed, but hey, it paid off. I thought WhiteRa should have just grabbed the 3rd expansion right away, but hey, he did the 8 gate, and it worked. You know, killed off the 2 hatcheries, and look at his supply here. It is ahead of the Zerg player. When anytime a Protoss is ahead in supply, he's winning. And the units lost tab, look at that, 2,300 to 4,400. Now at this point, you pull away. Any Protoss here, you pull away. You get a 3rd Nexus, you tech up to catch up in any tech that you may have fallen behind in. But he runs up the ramp. Okay, he runs up to poke, but he sees this many crawlers, and immediately he should have told himself, time to pack up and go home. So it was a very, very strange decision by WhiteRa. You know, he's known for his aggression. Sometimes it gets him in trouble, and I think this time it did. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this cast. Once again, brought to you by IPL, brought to you by HD StarCraft. That's my name. And if you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe on my youtube.com/HDStarCraft. Try to have that Guild Wars 2 video out tomorrow. And make sure to check out Game Electronics for your chance at a free headset. This is HD, signing out.